100 Advanced Vocabulary Words for Fluent English. Aberration, a deviation from what is normal. Example: the scientists' results were considered an aberration until others replicated them. Abstruse, difficult to understand. Example: the professor's lectures on quantum mechanics were often abstruse. Acquiesce, to accept without protest. Example: she acquiesced to her manager's request despite her personal disagreement. Alacrity, cheerful willingness. Example: he accepted the job offer with alacrity. Ameliorate, to improve or make better. Example: the new laws aim to ameliorate living conditions in rural areas. Anachronism, something out of place in time. Example: the use of a smartphone in a medieval movie is a clear anachronism. Aplomb, self-confidence and assurance. Example: she handled the criticism with aplomb. Assiduous, hardworking and persistent. Example: he was assiduous in his research and never gave up. Benevolent, kind and generous. Example: the benevolent leader donated half his income to charity. Bombastic, pompous or inflated speech. Example: the politician's bombastic speech lacked real substance. Cacophony, a harsh, jarring mixture of sounds. Example: the city street was filled with the cacophony of horns and sirens. Capitulate, to surrender. Example: the rebels finally capitulated after a long siege. Cognizant, aware or informed. Example: she is fully cognizant of the challenges ahead. Conundrum, a difficult problem. Example: choosing the right college was a real conundrum for him. Debilitate, to weaken. Example: the illness debilitated her for months. Deference, respectful submission. Example: out of deference to her experience, we followed her advice. Demagogue, a leader who appeals to emotion rather than reason. Example: the demagogue swayed the crowd with fiery rhetoric. Disparate, fundamentally different. Example: the two cultures were so disparate that communication was difficult. Disseminate, to spread widely. Example: the organization works to disseminate information about healthy living. Ebullient, enthusiastic and lively. Example: her ebullient personality made her a favorite among her peers. Egregious, outstandingly bad or shocking. Example: his egregious mistake cost the company thousands of dollars. Enervate, to weaken or drain energy. Example: the long meeting enervated everyone in the room. Ephemeral, lasting a very short time. Example: the beauty of the sunset was ephemeral but unforgettable. Equanimity, calmness and composure. Example: she accepted the news with surprising equanimity. Esoteric, intended for or understood by only a few. Example: the professor's discussion on metaphysics was highly esoteric. Exacerbate, to make worse. Example: his rude comments only exacerbated the situation. Fastidious, very attentive to detail. Example: the editor was fastidious and missed nothing. Fortuitous, happening by chance, often lucky. Example: their meeting was entirely fortuitous but led to a great partnership. Garrulous, excessively talkative. Example: the garrulous neighbor kept her at the door for an hour. Grandiloquent, using lofty, pompous language. Example, his grandiloquent speech impressed no one. Harangue, a lengthy and aggressive speech. Example, the manager gave a harangue about punctuality. Iconoclast, someone who challenges traditional beliefs. Example, the artist was an iconoclast who broke all rules of classical painting. Impetuous, acting without thought or care. Example, his impetuous decision to quit his job shocked everyone. Inchoate, not fully developed. Example, the plan was still in an inchoate stage. Indefatigable, never tired, persistent. Example, she was an indefatigable worker who stayed late every night. Ineffable, too great to be expressed in words. Example, the joy of seeing her child succeed was ineffable. Inimical, harmful or hostile. Example, his actions were inimical to the team's success. Insidious, subtly harmful. Example, the disease has an insidious onset, making it hard to detect early. Intrepid, fearless and adventurous. Example, the intrepid explorer ventured into the uncharted forest. Inveterate, firmly established, habitual. Example, he's an inveterate liar who can't be trusted. Juxtapose, to place side by side for contrast. Example, the artist juxtaposed modern and traditional elements in her work. Laconic, using few words. Example, his laconic reply made her feel dismissed. Lethargic, lacking energy. Example, the heat made everyone feel lethargic and sleepy. Loquacious, very talkative. Example, the loquacious student answered every question in great detail. Magnanimous, generous and forgiving. Example, she was magnanimous in victory, praising her opponent's efforts. Malevolent, having or showing a wish to do evil. Example, the villain in the story had a malevolent smile. Maudlin, overly sentimental. Example, he became maudlin after a few drinks and started crying. Mendacious, dishonest or untruthful. Example, the mendacious report led to public outrage. Munificent, extremely generous. Example, the munificent donor gave $1 million to the school. Nebulous, vague or unclear. Example, his explanation was nebulous and confusing. Nefarious, wicked or criminal. Example, the villain's nefarious plan was discovered just in time. Obdurate, stubborn and unyielding. Example, despite the evidence, he remained obdurate in his beliefs. Obfuscate, to confuse or make unclear. Example, the lawyer tried to obfuscate the facts of the case. Obsequious, overly submissive and eager to please. Example, his obsequious behavior annoyed his colleagues. Ostentatious, showy or pretentious. Example, the millionaire's ostentatious mansion drew much criticism. Palliate, to ease symptoms without curing. Example, the medication can palliate pain but won't treat the disease. Parsimony, extreme unwillingness to spend money. Example, her parsimony kept her from enjoying even basic comforts. Pernicious, having a harmful effect. Example, the pernicious rumors damaged her reputation. Phlegmatic, calm and unemotional. Example, he remained phlegmatic even during the crisis. Polemical, strongly argumentative or controversial. Example, the author's polemical essays divided public opinion. Pragmatic, practical rather than theoretical. Example, she took a pragmatic approach to solving the problem. Prevaricate, to avoid telling the truth. Example, he began to prevaricate when asked about his whereabouts. Proclivity, a natural tendency or inclination. Example, she had a proclivity for solving complex puzzles. Prosaic, dull or unimaginative. Example, his writing was competent but prosaic. Pugnacious, eager to fight or argue. Example, the pugnacious teen often got into fights at school. Quixotic, unrealistic and idealistic. Example, his quixotic plan to end world hunger overnight was admirable but impractical. Recalcitrant, stubbornly disobedient. Example, the recalcitrant student refused to follow any rules. Redolent, strongly reminiscent or suggestive of. Example, the kitchen was redolent of cinnamon and baked apples. Reprobate, a morally unprincipled person. Example, the novel's protagonist is a charming reprobate. Reticent, reserved or silent. Example, she was reticent about her past experiences. Sagacious, wise and insightful. Example, the sagacious leader was admired by all. Salubrious, health-giving, beneficial. Example, the salubrious climate attracted many tourists. Sanguine, optimistic, especially in a difficult situation. Example, despite the setbacks, he remained sanguine about their success. Scurrilous, insulting and scandalous. Example, the tabloid published a scurrilous article about the actor. Spurious, false or fake. Example, he was arrested for using spurious documents. Stolid, calm and unemotional. Example, his stolid expression revealed nothing. Supercilious, behaving as if superior. Example, the waiter's supercilious attitude annoyed the customers. Surreptitious, secretive or stealthy. Example, she gave him a surreptitious glance. Trepidation, fear or anxiety. Example, he entered the dark alley with great trepidation. Truculent, aggressive and combative. Example, the truculent tone of his reply surprised everyone. Ubiquitous, present everywhere. Example, smartphones have become ubiquitous in modern life. Unctuous, excessively flattering or oily. Example, his unctuous tone made her uncomfortable. Urbane, refined and courteous. Example, he was urbane and sophisticated in every way. Vacillate, to waver or be indecisive. Example, she vacillated between choosing art or medicine as a career. Vapid, dull or lacking flavor. Example, the conversation was vapid and uninteresting. Vehement, intense or passionate. Example, she was vehement in her opposition to the policy. Veracity, truthfulness. Example, the lawyer questioned the veracity of the witness. Vicissitude, a change of circumstances, often unwelcome. Example, they endured the vicissitudes of life with strength. Vociferous, loud and forceful. Example, the vociferous protest disrupted traffic for hours. Voracious, having a huge appetite. Example, he had a voracious appetite for books and knowledge. Winsome, charming and attractive. Example, her winsome smile lit up the room. Wistful, longing or yearning. Example, he gave a wistful glance at the old photograph. Zenith, the highest point. Example, she reached the zenith of her career last year. Zealous, passionately devoted. Example, the zealous volunteers worked tirelessly. Abrogate, to abolish or repeal. Example, the government decided to abrogate the outdated law. Blithe, carefree and cheerful. Example, her blithe spirit made her popular among her friends. Candor, honesty and openness. Example, he spoke with refreshing candor about his past mistakes. Despot, a tyrannical ruler. Example, the despot ruled with an iron fist. Extol, to praise highly. Example, the teacher extolled the student's creativity. Furtive, secretive or sneaky. Example, he cast a furtive glance at the clock.